Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU Audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University School of Performing and Visual Arts, SOPVA, Certificate in Visual Arts, Applied Arts, CVAA, OVA 003 and Introduction to Indian Arts Block-1 Indian Painting, Major School Unit-1 Mural School of Painting. In the previous unit of Indian Painting we have dealt with the chronological order in which Indian painting developed as art from prehistoric to contemporary times. You have also learnt that there we get rich information on paintings in our early texts, and painting as an art in India has an interesting account to tell us. In this unit we will discuss the tradition of mural painting and different schools in mural paintings. They enhance the beauty and grace of Buddhist, Jain and Hindu structures and also the palaces and mansions of the kings and nobles. Mural painting is the class of painting done on the walls and ceilings in rock-cut architecture and structural temples by using special technique are known as mural painting. These paintings are not portable, that is to say they cannot be moved out once painted on the wall. Objectives: after reading this unit you will be able to understand clearly the techniques of mural painting, explain the different schools of mural painting, know the stories and other subjects depicted in mural painting, will know the importance of art in historical times. 1.1 Introduction to Mural Painting. The earliest historical paintings in India were created in the Buddhist caves of Satavahana period from 224 BC to 200 BC. The caves 9 and 10 contain the murals of Satavahana period. The paintings cover the walls, pillars and ceilings and illustrate scenes from the life of Buddha and his previous lives, comprising Anthahataka stories. In one of Jadakas the paintings show the happy life of the six-tusked elephant and his queens in the lotus lake, near the huge banyan tree. The nature around is beautiful, depicted looks fresh even after so many centuries. Even in Central Asian caves Kushana period Buddhist mural paintings are found. All these are the pre-Gupta mural paintings. From 4th century AD the mural paintings reached its greater height. We will discuss about it further. 1.2 Techniques and Materials. Techniques. There are two techniques used basically in mural painting. They are fresco buono and fresco secco. 1.2.1 Fresco buono is a wet technique. The powder colors are mixed with water and applied on the lime surface of the wall treated with plaster and still wet. The colors get into the pores and go deeper. This is the Italian technique used in the famous mural paintings of Sistine Chapel by Michelangelo. 1.2.2 Fresco secco is a dry technique. The powder colors are mixed in vegetable substance and applied on the dry wall which has been treated with fine plaster. Indian mural painting developed as the dry technique. We will discuss more about the dry technique used in Ajanta paintings. Bitichitra was the term used for mural paintings in Indian texts. The surface of the stone was first prepared by a coating of potter's clay, mixed variously with cow dung, straw, and such natural fiber. Once this was leveled to a thickness of half an inch to 2 inches, it was coated with fine, white lime plaster which became the actual painting surface. On the still damp wall, the artist first laid Uthis composition with burnt cinnabar color in lines. Then define the subjects with the undercoat of grey, terre verte. Once the wall is dried the powdered colors made of natural substance is applied, a brown or black line restated the drawing to finish the composition. Finally, the painting is gently rubbed with a smooth stone which gave a rich lustrous surface. Materials. The painters in historical times were well versed with the materials they used for painting. They collected thick and fine brushes known as tulika were made out of the hair of squirrels. Kurchaka was the big brush used for giving color wash, tulika was used for ummalana, the final touches to open the eyes of the figure. They used fine bamboo rods for giving outlines. About the technique of applying colors we have already discussed in the previous unit. The colors, either of vegetable or mineral origin. Gairika for red, nili blue, Shuddha white, Kajala black, Haritala yellow were the colors made out of natural substance, and Vajir Aleppo was binding media for colors. 1.3 Major schools of mural paintings. The continuity and style and technique. Indian mural paintings could be traced from the Ajanta in century to 19th century in Mysore. There are several changes we see in the subjects portrayed and also the treatment of figures. The early schools of paintings were painterly in quality, whereas the later ones are sculptural in treatment. Preparation of colors and surface of the wall are not that strong in later times when compared to Ajanta times. We come across with Buddhist, Jain and Hindu mythology in their narration on the wall paintings. 1.3.1 Ajanta Paintings. Ajanta near Aurangabad is excellent for the study of Indian classical art of paintings, sculptures and architecture. This place has the development from 2nd century BCE to 7th century CE, patronized by Satavahanas, Vakatakas and Guptas, and later abandoned. The empty structures became real cave with overgrown trees and lost from the world. In 1817 the British soldiers passing from south to north led by a village boy. When they were following the track of a tiger they ended up in a wild cave. While pulling away the branches of the tree they were stunned to see a gigantic Buddha sculpture. When they passed through the entire cave, Ajanta was rediscovered. The Ajanta caves have been carved into spacious prayer halls, with giant-sized sculptures of Buddha. The walls of these Chaitya halls were entirely covered with paintings. The Ajanta fresco were not the copies of what we see around. The painters created the figures through their imagination. They put their soul into the subjects they painted. In Indian tradition, before starting a picture or sculpture, a dhyana mantra is chanted in meditation. So it seems that the figures are breathing. The paintings in Cave 1 and 2 display high merit in line, coloring, treatment and expression of feelings and emotions. These paintings show great mastery of human and animal forms. The episodes of birth, life and death of Buddha are presented before us. The 6 canons, the Shadangas we had discussed in the previous unit, are applied in creating these paintings. The figures are tastefully decorated with splendid jewelry. The streets, houses, palaces, mansions are also decorated with tassels of pearls and other jewels. Cave 2 contains a large-size painting of Bodhisattva. The Jatakas presented Arhansa Jataka, Vidharapandita Jataka, Ruru Jataka, Purna of Adana, Mahajanaka, Mahakapi Jataka, and many other Jatakas are narrated beautifully and meaningfully. Cave 19 has panels representing Buddha with his begging bowl before his son Rahula and wife Yashodhara. Bodhisattva Padmapani, Bodhisattva Varapani, the Black Princess, the Dying Princess, Renunciation of Siddhartha, Buddha and Yashodhara are the masterpieces of Ajanta paintings. The mature tradition of Ajanta paintings has far-reaching effects. The Ajanta tradition traveled through South India and reached Sigiriya in Sri Lanka. The paintings of bog caves belong to post-Ajanta period. Thus, Ajanta style continued till 1th century CS. L1.3.2 Pallava paintings. The Pallavas of Kunchi represent an early dynasty in South India. Mahendravarman was the famous ruler of this dynasty, was a great patron of painting and earned the title as Chitrakarapuli, a tiger among painters. The Jaina paintings of his times are found in the cave temple Siddhanavasal in Tamil Nadu. Later, beautiful figurative paintings were added to this cave during the times of early Pandyas. In the Kailasanatha temple Kunchi and Panamalai temples the fragments of paintings speak glorious style of Pallava paintings exists. We can observe the continuity of Ajanta tradition in technique, use of materials and treatment of figures. 1.3.3 Chalukya paintings. The Western Chalukyas succeeded the Vakatakas in the region of Decisian. It was a powerful dynasty. Kirtavarman, Mangalsha, Pulaksi and Vikramaditya are the famous rulers of this dynasty. Badarni was their capital. The most beautiful and majestic structure is the Cave 3, the Vaishnava cave. It is known for the imposing sculptures of various forms of Vishnu such as Ananta Vishnu, Narasimha, Trivikrama, Varaha etc. An inscription in the cave mentions that the patron Mangalsha is Aparama Bhagavata, follower of Bhagata Dharma, had got the entire cave painted. But today we can see only fragment of the glorious painting. In the fragmentary paintings at Badami, Mangalsha is clearly seen as a patron of painter's art. A large panel represents a scene in the palace. It appears that the surface of the wall for murals at Badami is not long-lasting as in the case of Ajanta. But the style and technique of painting retain the painterly qualities of Ajanta style. These fragment of a large murals created in 578 to 579 CE is the only existing proof to study Chalukyan paintings. 1.3.4 Rashtrakuta. Rashtrakuta overthrown the Chalukyas of Badami and established Their power in Deccan. The Kailasa cave at Ellora is carved out of living rock as a marvelous creation of the architects of 8th century. The paintings at Ellora cover the ceilings and walls of the mantapas, pillared halls, and represent various themes of Shiva Purana and also floral, animal and bird patterns. Dancing Shiva is the famous panel of Ellora. The special feature-like peculiar way of placing eyes, angular nose in three-quarter view is the new feature here which became the stylistic features of Jain manuscript paintings in 12th century CE. This is the last examples of the paintings done in the Ajanta style of mural painting. 1.3.5 Chola. The Cholas ruled the Tamil country from 10th century to 12th century. They built great temples in Tanjore, Dharasuram, and Gangaikonda Kalapuram. You will study more about the architecture of this period in the paper, Cultural Heritage of India. There are fragments of early Chola paintings in Nardamalai, Malayadipati and other places. But it is Brihadisvara temple at Tanjore is the real treasure house of the art of Chola painter. The passage which runs around the Shikara contains the paintings. The discovery of these paintings revealed a new phase of South Indian painting. There are 2 layers of paintings on these walls. The entire wall and the ceiling were originally decorated with exquisite paintings of the time of Raja, but later renovation and addition covered up these paintings with additional layers during Nayaka period. These paintings exhibit a superb style of South Indian tradition of painting and remains as a link for Pallava, earlier to Chola, and Vijayanagar, later to Chola, times. The masterpieces are the dancing Asparas, celestials, and Shiva as Yoga Dakshinamurthy and bejeweled celestials. The Chola paintings reveal to us the life, richness and culture of Chola times. The colors are soft and subdued, the lines are strong and very expressive with emotions. On the whole these paintings are outstanding and charming. 1.3.6 Vijayanagar paintings. The empire of Vijay and Agar was established in South India in the 14th century, a dominant power. The Vijayanagar style of architecture, sculpture and painting was continuation of the earlier Chola and Pandyan traditions. Krishnadevaraja was a great emperor and also a scholar, painter and patron of fine arts. The Vijayanagara Empire represents the last great phase of Indian history and culture. Painting, like every other art, was encouraged during this period, and there are innumerable temples all over South India representing this phase. In the Virupaksha temple at the capital of the empire, the present Hampi, the ceiling of the large pillared hall has a magnificent series of paintings. The murals depict the procession of the sage Vijayaranya, the spiritual master who motivate Haka and Booker to establish the Vijayanagar Empire. The painting of Triparantaka, Narasimha and the scene of Girija Kalyana are other remarkable panels. The post-Vijayanagar paintings are found in the Virabhadra temple in Lepakshi. The colors, contours, position, theme are outstanding in these paintings. 1.3.7 Nayaka paintings. With the decline of Vijayanagar Empire, the Nayaka rulers at Madurai and Tanjore became powerful and continued the tradition of Vijayanagar in every way. Tirumala Nayaka of Madurai was a great patron of art, and the new Payuard Hall was constructed by him and painted with beautiful murals. Similarly, Raghunatha Nayaka of Tanjore was responsible for monumental work. Paintings of his times are seen at Tanjore, Tenkasai, Pur and other places. The outer layer of Tanjore Chola paintings are of Nayaka period. These paintings are particularly interesting from the point of view of viewing the life in that period. They exhibit elaboration in costume, ornamentation and other details. The features of Vijayanagar period are faithfully executed with addition of sculptural details in Nayaka paintings. 1.3.8 Kerala. The painting tradition also extended in Kerala from 16th to 18th century. Under the Chera rulers, Kerala witnessed the temple building activity. The Malabar temple architecture is very different from other parts of India. Due to the heavy rain, wood is preferred to stone in temple structures. Thus, the interiors of the temples and palaces are covered with colorful murals and wood carvings. These paintings have the influence of Vijayanagar tradition combined with the vibrant expression of Kathakali features. The paintings at Padmanabhaswamy Temple at Trivandrum, Mattancherry Palace at Cochin, Vadakunatha Temple at Trishur depict the dancing Shiva in eye-catching pose, features and colors. Ramayana and Mahabharata scenes were favorite to Kathakali dancers as well as painters. 1.3.9 Mysore paintings. The murals in and around Mysore are the last phase in the history of mural paintings in India. The largest mural paintings depict the Mysore war between Tipu Sultan and the British at the Summer Palace of Srirangapatnam. The other side of the wall in the same palace show the rulers and Nawabs who were the contemporary of Tipu Sultan. Both the panels are the records of historical importance. The tradition continued in Wodeyar times, who ruled Mysore after the fall of Tipu Sultan. Some of the temples and the palaces of Mysore and other places like Mudakuttur, Sibi and Sira have good series of paintings done in the Mysore style. Here the themes have variety, colors are soft, jewels are decorative and appealing. Gold foil is used for jewels and textile designs. On the whole they have great appeal. 1.4 Summary. You have seen how mural painting has an interesting development in India with a long and rich heritage of mural painting spanning from 2nd century BC to almost 19th century CB. The earliest being from Ajanta and the most recent one is from almost around Mysore. The dry technique known as fresco stucco was the tradition handed over to out artists. Special ground, the wall surface was prepared to execute the painting. We have also seen how the walls were treated, what are the materials used and how the master painter planned his picture. There were several schools in mural painting. One of the principles of Ajanta style which was followed till I century CE. For a period of 300 years we haven't seen such activities in the field of mural painting. With the establishment of IGNOU LLIR in 14th century the mural painting gets importance and continued for further 500 years. We have also discussed the masterpieces in each of the schools such as Ajanta, Chalukyan, Pallava, Rashtrakuta, Chola, Vijayanagar, Nayaka, and Mysore. Thank you.